Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Jatan Shah, who is QSC President and the 2025 Avixa Chair of the Board of Directors. Topic of conversation is, of course, QSC and Acuity. Probably the biggest M&A news of the entire year broke several weeks ago, talking about the acquisition of QSC becoming part of Acuity. Thank you so much, Jatan, for being here today, giving us the opportunity to delve a little bit deeper into, again, one of the biggest news stories in the Pro AV space of the year, if not the biggest news.
Dan, thank you for having me here. Excited to spend some time here.
Well, let's get right into it. Would you mind providing just a little bit of background about how QSC and Acuity began dialoguing and what made the union of the companies appealing to both parties? Because when the news broke, I mean, all of us had our wow moment, but I know a lot of planning, a lot of thought, a lot of real partnership went into that announcement before it came out.
It's interesting. Actually, our relationship with Acuity was more organic. Q-SYS platform and ecosystem that we've been developing for the last, 17, 18 years. It's at point of maturity where our ecosystem has been expanding. We have partners that go beyond traditional AV companies. And in fact, that's how some of the conversations with Acuity started, which is what's possible with the Q-SYS platform and ecosystem and what value we can provide for end users. And that was the interaction that began about a year ago. And that led to more conversations about, like something that is more transformational for the industry. And that's what led to the deeper conversation about coming together.
Yeah. Yeah. So the roots essentially, as you say, trace back about a year or so, but it just got like it was almost like taking back the levels of the onion. As you talked more and more, you saw more and more synergy, more and more opportunity to benefit each other.
Absolutely. That's right.
So what would you say the acquisition of QSC means for the AV industry, for the future of intelligent spaces? As we look at this big announcement, we contextualize it. What does it mean not just for the organization, but the future of the industry and intelligent spaces broadly?
Sure. I mean, this for us, we think this is a pivotal moment for the industry. The industry has been talking about AV-IT convergence for the last 15, 20 years almost. And if you look at the evolution of that convergence, means that more things that come together. And often these things are coming from adjacent spaces. In this case, intelligent spaces as an area. So as we think about it, what can we do from the audio video and control expertise that QSC has, and when you combine it with what Acuity offers, which is significant step forward, creating more smarter, more efficient, and more people-centric spaces. So, and within its unique ability, when we think about AV industry, we talk about eyes and ears and of every environment. AV has this unique opportunity to actually unlock more transformational value. And when you collaborate that, QSC's advanced technologies with Acuity's focus, which is on data-driven, sustainable solutions to redefine what intelligent spaces can accomplish. So that's what we believe that this union means for the industry. And then also for us as a company, is a new chapter for us where we are aligning both organizations in terms of the technology and data to reimagine and elevate the potential of intelligent spaces and what's possible on a global scale.
Yeah. I think there's so much potential ahead of us, and that marriage of, again, QSC and QSYS's core competencies and then Acuity on the data side. I think a real transformation is at hand, and I think you're kind of in the prime position to help drive it forward. I mean, it's all about transformation in the new year, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's just a lot of excitement, when you think about AV industry again, talk about it in the Avixa as an organization and our growth of the industry and what's possible. These are some of the moments where you look back and say, the pivotal moments that define and redefine the industry.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it's all about. This is not the industry of 10 years ago or 20 years ago or even 2 or 3 years ago. It is evolving so quickly. And although you talk about terms like convergence have been with us for a very long time, the industry's evolution is so exciting. I've been in the industry for 20 years and it is so different from what it once was. It's really exciting to know that our industry's leaders, companies like QSC, are thinking in that future focused mindset about not today's industry, but how tomorrow's industry can be shaped.
Absolutely.
So, what opportunities do you see for QSC as part of Acuity Intelligent Spaces, particularly when it comes to accelerating growth, expanding into new markets, kind of what we were just talking about, not staying put, but exploring new terrain and expanding outward?
Yeah, I mean, I would answer it from two perspectives. One is from technology perspective and the solution, and the second is for more from geographies. So Acuity, when you look at the intelligent spaces business, that has focused so far on how a building operates, meaning it's HVAC systems, refrigeration and lighting counterparts, and the software that powers it all. And when you add QSC, which expands the focus on what occupants do inside those spaces, right? So that's just a very powerful outcome that can be driven for the end users. And then on top of it, when you talk about our global reach, and as QSC, we've been expanding in beyond US and Europe and Asia and many places with our regional hubs and experience centers. We think we could extend Acuity's reach even beyond where traditional focus has been. And so by combining the two organizations, there's a lot of unlocked potential that can be that can come out.
Absolutely. And again, with the relationship just having been formalized, X number of weeks ago, we're just at the beginning of what's going to blossom and develop over the coming years, aren't we?
Absolutely, yes. We have a lot to uncover. Even this in a way has come faster than even what people might be thinking. And there's a lot to learn and a lot to explore in terms of what's possible with the two companies together.
So as you know, Jatan, Commercial Integrator has primarily an integrator and consultant audience, the broad universe of people that are part of the channel. Would you offer a sense to them of how the acquisition will affect how they work with QSC day to day? Your tried and true partners in the channel, the integrators and consultants, will this benefit them? Will it attract new channel partners? How will this affect those of us in the integration industry?
Look, the acquisition itself will not change how the channel partners, integrators, consultants work with QSC on a day-to-day basis. Uh, the partners should make sure that they expect the same reliable services, fast access, support, and all of that. It does we think that this partnership opens the doors for more expanded opportunities where you're combining our QSC's AV expertise and then Acuity's focus, which is on intelligent spaces and data-driven solutions. So that should allow partners to address more evolving customer needs. At the end of the day, many of the end users, while the channel might be different or how the end user access these solutions might be different, we think this is a great opportunity where people can uh, offer more cohesive, comprehensive solution to the end users.
And that's kind of what we were just talking about, the idea that the industry is anything but stagnant and vendors and suppliers need to continually upgrade their offering. But at the same time, the integrators and consultants need to think about widening their own aperture, don't they? And leaning on the increased strength of an organization like QSC so they can broaden their offering and serve their end users where they are now.
Absolutely. And we are here to, of course, continue working with our partners. They're a very important part of our value chain. And, this is, again, an opportunity for all of us.
Yeah. And that, of course, is music to our audience's ears, saying that they're so important to your value chain because obviously, they rely on pillars of the industry like QSC. You're really important to them, and it's nice to know that in turn they are really important to you as well, and you value that relationship.
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
What excites you most about combining Q-SYS technology with Acuity's data-driven vision? And I'm sure you could probably go down 7 or 8 different things, but just speaking personally, what's most exciting or most stimulating to you about that?
A couple of things, but when you look at the deep customer insights that can allow more diverse user needs and deliver more tailored, high-value solutions, as part of Acuity, we can enhance the ability to drive innovation and shape the future of intelligent spaces. Yes, from the AV industry perspective, we were already focused on that, but now we just have a more better ways, faster ways to do it as part of a larger organization. And so we are creating, environments that intelligently adjust to user needs, creating more, enhancing the experiences, driving more energy efficiency, while driving meaningful outcomes for people in the spaces. So, again, it's very exciting when we think about we have these disruptive technologies that we have been focused on for last, 2 decades, and then we combine it with Acuity's vision of harnessing data to transform spaces it just brings a very tailored experiences for people in spaces.
Yeah. And you use the word outcome. And of course, I have to pick up on that because I think for a long time, those of us in the technology space, we sometimes get so focused on the technology, but now it really seems like the forward thinking and the most thoughtful organizations in the industry are very outcome focused. The technology is a means to an end, right? It's meant to elevate an experience or facilitate a better meeting or collaboration or whatever it is. The technology is just a means to an end. It's about the outcome, right?
Absolutely. And outcomes that are meaningful for people. And more we understand those outcomes and the needs, we can tailor the solutions that really deliver those outcomes. So for us, when you think about those outcomes, in last again 5 years, 10 years, even post COVID, a lot of conversations about, how do we make spaces more efficient? How do we have spaces that, are more flexible, solutions that can provide more value and outcomes to people that are occupying those spaces. We just think that this union allows us to deliver those outcomes in a more meaningful way.
So, speaking about that union, now we're in the obviously very early weeks, very early months of this announcement. But what are your plans to protect, preserve, and enhance QSC's unique DNA, your company culture post acquisition? I mean, I've been to your Southern California offices. I know QSC has something pretty special and it traces back to its lineage, but even since then, it's just such a mindful, culturally coherent company. How are you going to maintain that as part of something larger?
It's interesting as a 56-year-old company, and that has seen a tremendous change, growth over all these decades. Things that have remained common are people and technology, right? If you think about the focus on people and technology, when you get those two things right, a lot of things get delivered to our customers.
Mhm.
So when we engage with Acuity on frequent, several occasions and several bases, we have of course looked at what values that they focus on, and we just saw tremendous alignment. So alignment on customer centricity, having that more focus on people, and then really care about the technology. These are more foundational things that we believe brings makes us a lot more comfortable that this union will lead into a much better outcome for all of our employees, our customers,
Mhm.
and that's what we believe that's going to happen, and that's we're excited about that.
Well, it's nice to know that that cultural coherence will remain. It sounds like it's really quite complementary in terms of the core values that underpin how you go about doing business.
Absolutely, yes. People matter. Collaboration among people, openness, care, things that are really important for an organization like ours. And we believe that both organizations share a lot of these common values.
Absolutely. What trends are you seeing in the industry right now that align with the vision of both QSC and Acuity as you've expressed it so far? Are there certain trends that you feel really primed to lean into as one unified organization?
Yeah, I mean, there are several trends that we've been talking about it for a while, which is having more smart buildings and smart spaces, having more energy efficient buildings. Those type of trends that we've been talking about, those will continue. We think that now we just have a more better ability to deliver on those trends. So we think that again, also on that data side, when you emphasize on the evolution of what data has meant in past and now what it means in the world of AI. We think that access to data, we have eyes and ears through AV, and we have Acuity's focus on smarter, more efficient buildings. We think that these trends can now come together in the sense that we can deliver the values on all of those trends. So that's what it means.
Well, as I've said earlier, it's exciting times ahead. So I guess the biggest question or the most important question is there anything I've forgotten to ask? Anything that you really think our audience should know that I have not already teed you up to talk about?
I think the key thing is that we love our industry. We love the AV industry. I'm personally super excited about this pivotal step because it just grows our reach as an industry beyond our traditional AV spaces, and also in a meaningful manner where we can deliver better outcomes for our customers, our channel partners, our consultants, everyone in the value chain. I think this is an exciting opportunity for everyone. And I'm personally very feeling really great about our employees and what's to come here.
Well, closing with your passion for the industry, I think is a great note to close on. And of course, yeah, I'd be remiss not to again mention 2025 Avixa Chair of the Board of Directors. So kind of giving back and trying to nurture the industry that you love so much, the organization all of us love so much. They say that the names are always the same, the business cards change, but all of us love the industry so much we couldn't imagine ourselves outside of it. And I know you feel the same way.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Jatan Shah, QSC President and 2025 Avixa Chair of the Board of Directors, for joining me today. Always such a pleasure to talk to you. I hope I see you at ISC or Infocom or one of the events upcoming in the coming year.
You can count on it. Thank you very much again for the conversation.
Thank you so much. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please keep your eyes on commercialintegrator.com for more exciting, exclusive content just like this. We'll see you soon.